Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever Ember wanders near.
Yeah, I kind of want to take a look at this. So how many of you guys, I don't know how many of you guys have been on Twitter, seeing this Petra Parker, like I guess it's basically like a web comic, but like I've seen it on Twitter. Someone is basically, done like a gender swap thing of Spider-Man. And I mean, it's a little dumb, but I think it's just supposed to be funny. It's just supposed to be funny and cute. I've seen it. It's cute. It's like, what if Peter Parker was a girl? And it's like, it's kind of cute. Well, apparently people are crashing the fuck out over it. Twitter is being Twitter. So let's see what we got. Let's see what's going on with this, with Twitter being Twitter on the whole Petra Parker thing.
Hey, what's up, Kesrup here? So in this video, we'll be covering yet another situation where a character is being rewritten by the headcanon of individuals on social media, where not only are they producing headcanon about the character's identity, they're telling you you're wrong if you align with the source material instead of their headcanon, and the activists are crashing out. So the character in question here is Petra Parker, which is essentially a gender-bent version of Spider-Man. Very simple stuff, and this character is getting a lot of attention right now, including artwork like...
By the way, I should be clear about this. I don't have a problem when, people, even like mainstream does like gender bent versions of mainstream characters, just as sort of like a fun thing, a fun little what if, what if this character was gender bent into the opposite gender? Like, what would that character be like? No, because it's been done for a while. And honestly, if it's done in like good fun and not being intended as like a replacement, like, oh, this one's so much better, we're gonna replace your beloved character with this gender bent version. As long as it's just being done in good fun and it's like kind of like a what if, and it's just being creative, like, okay, what if this character was gender bent? What would their life be like? What would their superhero life be like? But again, it's not a replacement. Okay, it's not being done as a replacement. I have no objection to it whatsoever. I think they can be fun. So let me just make that very clear. Some people might, some purists might be like, "Oh, you can never gender swap a superhero character. That is like, tantamount to heresy, and you can't do this." It's like, no, I'm perfectly fine with it. It can be fun. It can be interesting, as long as it's not like we are replacing this iconic character that has lasted for literal decades with this gender bent version because my diversity or my DEI. As long as they're not trying to do that shit, I'm fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. I think it's fine.
Man, very simple stuff. And this character is getting a lot of attention right now, including artwork like this from the artist Sleek. And you can see very good art here. I'm also not going to ask how the whole web shooting works, but you can see this has gone viral.
Wow, Petra's kind of thick. Petra's She is Petra looking kind of dummy thick there. Wonder if that impacts her wet swinging a little bit.
But you can see this has gone viral. Okay, 81,000 likes, nearly 6 million views. But what's the problem here? Well, the replies are filled with the Looney Tunes, who are absolutely losing their mind. Not only saying that this artist is objectifying women, but also they're accusing the artist of being a transphobe and erasing this stunning and brave trans character.
What trans character? When was Petra Parker the female version of Spider-Man? When was she ever trans? I don't ever recall hearing anything, ever, about the gender-bent version of Spider-Man being trans. Could this possibly be because when they did the Into the Spider-Verse and they had Gwen they had to stick the trans flag on her wall in the Into the Spider, or maybe it was either Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse when they had a shot inside Gwen's room that she had the trans flag on her wall. And so now fucking everything, if it's a female version of Spider-Man, oh, it has to be fucking trans. Go fuck yourself with this bullshit. Go jerk off to like tranny fan fiction or hentai or something.
Now, you also have activists, this is probably the funniest arc of this video, wokely self-owning by saying this character looks too much like a biological woman to represent a trans woman.
How can I count the ways of retardation? So, quick educational lesson for people who are not familiar with those who may be trans. Those individuals that happen to be transgender, their ultimate goal is to want to actually look like the gender that they are transitioning into. Transgender men wish to look by all appearances and be perceived as and treated as men. Transgender women, the ultimate goal is to want to look like, as much as possible, and be treated like and addressed like a woman. And apparently this person, I'm guessing this person thinks trans women are basically ugly caricatures that everyone makes fun of. I'm guessing that psychopath screaming, "It's ma'am," when the blue-haired freak that was getting arrested by the police and was screaming and having a fucking tantrum screaming, "It's ma'am." I'm guessing that's what this person thinks trans means. So once again, I've said this before. The entire LGBT group, pride, has been completely co-opted by activists and autogonophiliacs. Because to them, being trans does not mean you want to look as much as possible and be treated as the opposite gender of which you were born because you have issues with body dysphoria or what have you, but you are trans in that respect, and so you wish to be viewed as much as possible and appear as much as possible as the gender that you ascribe to be. The activists and autogonophiliacs have now co-opted it so that to be considered quote-unquote trans, you have to look like a freak of nature. To these escaped insane asylum patients, being trans means you have to look like a freak. That's where we're at now. This is why I tell every single person who is LGBT, and no, I don't do the extra alphabet shit. This is why I tell everybody that is actually LGBT to not be in any way, shape, or form involved with the LGBT organizations or Pride, to keep your as far a distance away from them as possible, because they are evil. They are demons that have co-opted what used to be an organization dedicated to actual fucking equality with everyone else and is now about supremacy. And in this case, they're wanting supremacy by looking ugly as shit. They're wanting people that are trans to not look like the opposite gender and to look like freaks so that way they stand out more. It's fucking ridiculous. You're not actually a quote-unquote trans ally. You are either an autogonophiliac yourself or you're an autogonophiliac ally, which also means that you are allies with a criminal. Effectively, or potentially a criminal, I should say. Major difference between Caitlyn Jenner and Blair White? Yes. Actually, I'm not going to say yes because honestly, beyond the fact that Caitlyn Jenner is trans, I'll be real, I don't have a fucking clue what Caitlyn Jenner has done since transition. I do not follow anything that Caitlyn Jenner has ever done because I legitimately do not give a fuck. I don't care. You know what you know who I care about? I care about the trans people that are in my community. That's who I give a fuck about when it comes to trans people. I give a fuck about the ones that are in my community. That's who I care about. The freak shows online like this person, I do not care. I don't fucking care. It's as simple as that. Because people like this, people like this or people saying shit like this don't actually care about real trans or not or not actually real trans people. And yes, I will make that fucking distinction of real trans versus pretenders or autogonophiliacs.
I mean, yeah, right there with you, buddy. I couldn't have said it better myself. But what's going on with this situation? So again, Petra Parker is simply a Rule 63 version of Spider-Man. In that universe, all the characters are gender bent. She is a biological woman. It's even in the bio of the related pages. Yeah. This is a woman. There is no question here. Biological woman. But of course, the wackadoos on social media do what they do best. And that's not create their own characters. That's to take existing characters and then do something to them to align with their agenda or their identity or both. And you can see these.
Oh God, they even put the fucking she/her button on it. What is wrong with these people? Does Penny Parker count? Penny Parker doesn't, because Penny Parker is the daughter of Peter and I'm pretty sure MJ in that universe. So Penny Parker doesn't count in that she is not a gender swap version of Peter Parker. She is the daughter of Peter Parker.
Absolute banger articles like this saying, who is Petra Parker? Everything we know about the trans femme Spider-Verse sensation. Yeah, well, in the article they explain.
Oh my God, shut the. Oh, I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash the fuck out. She's not trans. Like this, you see this all the time. These are mental patients that literally have to basically inject their ideology into fucking everything. Everything.
What's going on here, and they just admit it's headcanon. Right? They're trying to claim this character is trans, but then down here they admit that trans people online are quick to take characters and run with them, creating infinitely more interesting and queer lore.
Wrong. And by the way, transcoded, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. I'm telling you right now. They only use this. They use this as basically like a pipeline to try and inject themselves into some place they do not belong, so they can try and co-opt it and take it over. That's all it is. It's like, oh, I'm gonna say it's transcoded, so that way I can go in and I can destroy your fandom because I say they're transcoded. So therefore, this actually applies to me now, and so now I get this. And you don't. We're actually taking this fandom from you. You don't get to have this anymore. And if you have a problem with this, well, you're a Nazi. It's so fucking stupid. This is why I've been saying we need to start gatekeeping. This is why I've flat out said to people on the internet, if you are gay or trans, you need to fucking gatekeep. You absolutely need to gatekeep now if you are gay or trans or bi. I should include bi too. If you are gay, bi, or trans, you need to fucking gatekeep. You need to gatekeep against these pretenders and these SJRs that are trying to co-opt you for their own evil purposes. If someone's pretending to be gay or people don't really pretend to be gay because gay is not like quote-unquote gay and bi people are not actually like quote-unquote marginalized. Trans people are. Trans people have been, they've been the target. So trans people, you need to gatekeep the fuck out of yourselves. That when you have a pretender, an SJR, or an autogonophiliac that goes, oh, I'm one of you girls, you need to say, shut the fuck up. No, you're not. You're not one of us. Don't come looking to me for support. Don't come looking to me for help. I disavow you. This is the ever-loving point of, like, if there had been gatekeeping, we would not be seeing what's happening with the WNBA right now. The WNBA, the things happening with the two former first draft picks that are basically like, that have said, like, I'm trans now, and so I want to play on the WNBA. Like, I don't have a problem with them doing that. They're obviously doing it to make a point, and God bless them for it. But if trans people had actually gate-kept up before then, this issue with the WNBA might not have happened in the first place. If proper gatekeeping had occurred with the trans community like 10, 15, 20 fucking years ago. Because there was no gatekeeping, now you have a bunch of impersonators, you have a bunch of frauds using trans people as a means of evil and destructive and demonic behavior. That is why I've said gatekeep. That is why I've said you need to fucking gatekeep and stop, or completely distance and disavow yourselves from all of these pretenders, all of these, SJRs, all of these autogonophiliacs, all of these like fakes that are basically becoming mouthpieces unintentionally and unwanted for you. This is why I say this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the level of narcissism and self-importance is insane. This person is saying that trans people create better characters and more interesting characters than the creators themselves. Wow. Amazing. But also you see this part right here. But much like all trans-coded characters. Trans-coded characters? What are you talking about? Are they saying because she has a sharp chin that she's trans-coded?
Yes, they
Not
are.
very woke of you.
That's exactly what they're saying. They're taking her facial features as drawn by this artist and saying, oh, she must be trans. Fuck off. Like, even trans people are saying, fuck right off. Every single actual trans person out there right now is like, probably any actual trans people that are watching my videos are probably doing the exact same thing that I'm doing and saying, kindly fuck right off, you asshat.
That's a little bit offensive, actually, but let's get to the art, okay? So this artist makes a very clearly female version of Petra Parker, and you can see people in the reply saying, finally, a real female Petra. And this individual says, trans Petra is a real quote-unquote female.
No,
Bit of a cell phone there, but
she's not trans.
Also, side note, saying female makes you sound like a Redditor.
Guess what? Saying trans Petra when Petra is actually a female makes you sound like an insane asylum patient. Go get back in the padded box.
So this individual is calling you a Redditor because you use the term female.
And fuck right off. Just fuck right off. Are you kidding me? So Cherry Cherry here is a self-admitted creature. They, them pronouns, which means you are a creature. I don't make the fucking rules. They, them, it means you have a multiple personality disorder. I'm telling you right now, if you use they, them pronouns, if you say I'm a they, them, I will say you need to get in the padded box because that means you have multiple personality disorder or you have a dissociative identity disorder. Flat out. If you say I'm a they, them, you need to get in the mental hospital now. How can you be a she and a they? What do you think my response to that is going to be? Spoiler, it's going to be, you can't. They, them as a pronoun for an individual does not exist. Point blank. I'm saying it loudly. They, them as a pronoun for an individual does not exist. It was literally created for attention. The whole non-binary they, them thing was created specifically for attention. It was for people that were when trans people were becoming more visible in the social zeitgeist, on social media and what have you. Like these are people that saw that trans people were becoming more quote unquote popular, shall I say. And these people were not trans. They couldn't profess themselves to be trans because they were not actually trans, but they still wanted to feel special. So they created non-binary as a means of attention seeking. So they could go, I'm they, them. I'm a they, them. You refer to me as they or them, not he or she. Because they were looking for attention. That's it. That's the reason why. That is the reason why the entire thing with non-binaries and they, them things came about. Is because these are lonely loser individuals that wanted attention. They didn't feel special. They felt like just a cog in the machine, a face in the crowd. They hated it. They hated their lonely existence. And so like, I want to feel special in some way. And so this basically was created for them to feel special. That's it. That's how this all came about.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should we use something less embarrassing like they, them? Is that something that's outside of Reddit cringe? I don't know. It's just, it's insane, guys. But here's another reply saying, reminder, Petra Parker comes from a reality where all characters are gender swapped.
What is the community note? I am legit curious. What is the community note?
She is not trans.
Show it to me, Rev.
And that is an objectively correct statement about this character.
Rev, show it to me.
But why is there a proposed community note? Well,
yes.
These activists love to abuse the system, oftentimes failing, but they try.
Here we go.
The current trend involving artists drawing Petra Parker is based on a what-if scenario in which Peter Parker transitions to a woman and stems largely from this post right.
No, it's not, you fucking cock-gobbling thunder cunt. No, it is not. Oh, my sweet fuck. You demons. You demons casting spells. What the fuck? No, it's not the story. This post, I guarantee you, is fake. I guarantee you this post is a fan fiction post. Guaranteed. Well, no, community notes would cite another Twitter post because that's how community notes. It's you can't actually when you submit for a community note, you have to utilize another tweet as like your evidence for any community note that you propose. It's not like you can put in another fucking website or something. You have to put in a Twitter post for the community note to showcase the community note. So that's, but I guarantee you this post is going to be somebody's fan fiction. Thank you for the tier 1. Thank you very much.
Right here. Totally irrelevant. This is not why the notes exist.
No, it does. I community noted someone recently, and when it came to like the evidence for the community noting, I had to put in a Twitter post link. I couldn't actually put in like another website. Like I community noted someone that did recently that they were posting the video footage from over a year ago when German police, like there was a sighting of a German police van that looked like it was trying to drop off illegal immigrants into Poland. Poland patriots were there waiting in the woods to block the path, and the van turns around. That happened from like over a year ago, and someone was posting it like, "Oh, this just happened." So I went to go community note it. And it said for the evidentiary part, you need to add in a Twitter post as like at your evidence from the community note. So yeah, I tried to put in the actual like video link or the actual article that it stemmed from, and I couldn't do it. I had to put it in the Twitter post.
From this post right here. Totally irrelevant. This is not why the notes exist. This context is irrelevance. The original post doesn't need additional context. It is the entire context.
Is he going to show what this post is?
Trying to abuse the note system by
Well, yeah. There's community posts with the actual news sources. What I think happens is you do a community post with the link, and then X will like research that. Maybe it probably uses Grok to research like the post to see what it's about, and then Grok will then insert like links to the actual news articles that they are sourced from the original post in order to facilitate the community note. That's what my feeling is. Because I didn't have the option when I community noted someone to put in an actual news article. I didn't have that option.
Inserting this to try to like exercise authority over the information being distributed here. But Also, in this proposed note, they're basically saying this is all headcanon,
yes.
which, of course, you can have your own headcanon about characters. That is totally within your rights.
Okay, he's not showing it. Let's see. Otribot. I want to see this. I want to see this Otribot post, if I can. Let's see. Where's Otribot? Oh, that didn't work. Hang on. Does Otribot not exist? All right, let me try Redeemed Raven. You. I can spell. God's sake, what is it? There we go. Okay, let's see if we can find it. Post is down. Unless it's in replies. Hang on, is it in replies? Is that it? No. No. Okay, that's not it. Hang on. God, this is so freaking okay. Hang on, let me get the context for the actual. Okay, that one. Okay, there we go. This one. Community note failed. Okay, community note has failed. So whatever community note was suggested failed. I know that's an issue. I know.
But the problem always is when people take their headcanon and they make it reality, where their headcanon is the way. And if you disagree with their headcanon, they think you're wrong and they harass you for it. And that's exactly what's happening with this trend. This person saying, well, she is trans, but also this work is really cute. Couldn't help themselves with this backhanded compliment. Here's another one saying Petra is trans. F you. Here's another one saying they've started cis-washing Petra Parker.
Are you kidding me?
Cis-washing. They're getting very creative. Anyways, here's another one saying, you mean to tell me she's swinging around tucked? Can artists stop cis-washing this trend? Oh my lord. I mean, that is just a terminally online sentence. I'm sorry that this person drawing a female has gotten you so upset that you're crashing out and having a breakdown on social media over it. But here's another one saying the reason this kind of Petra Parker art is bad because it doesn't make me feel anything. Like, it's not about Peter as trans.
Hitting me right now. Are you fucking kidding me right now? This is what it's all about. This is what this is all about. Attention. This is literally only about attention. These people are desperate for attention. They don't care what the reality is. They simply just want attention. It's honestly really sad. Like all of these people that are just well, you know this is trans, you know this is trans, you know this is trans. This is like pick me to the extreme. This is legitimately pick me to the extreme right now. It's honestly like so sad. It's culture war. It is, but it stems from it. It stems from it's wanting attention that has turned into a culture war. It is. It started off going like, I'm a loser and I hate being a loser and I want attention. And so they get involved in the cult where the cult says, we are going to tell you all the right things. We're going to treat you the way that you've always wanted to be treated. But you have to say what we want you to say. You have to parrot what we tell you to parrot. And then that is basically involved into a culture war. But it all stemmed from just being an attention whore. That's literally where all this comes from. All roads lead back to that.
And it's Peter as a girl, which is completely different. You are correct. It is completely different. Petra.
Hang on. They are all losers. Many were groomed. How do you think that was made possible in the first place? You can't groom. Do you have any idea how insanely difficult it is to groom someone that is feeling good about themselves, that comes from a stable environment, that has people around them that care about them, that is comfortable with themselves? This is what I'm talking about. Like, they're all losers. They aren't all losers. Yeah, a lot of them are. People are just weak to social pressure. You know who's weak to social pressure? People that are quote unquote losers, or look at themselves as being losers, or they're outcasts. They are the targets for the groomers. That's why I say all roads lead to that.
Being a girl is what the actual reality is in this situation. And you saying you don't feel anything about this and the art is bad simply because it's not trans is the most terminally online thing. You are completely captured.
And by the way, just as clarity, every one of these people making posts like, oh, Petra's trans, oh, Petra's trans. By the way, just for clarity, all the people making these posts are not transgender, nor are they actually transgender, quote unquote, allies. Not one of them. They are interlopers that are seeking domination of the social zeitgeist. They are seeking to dominate you. Bear that in mind. Not a single one of these people that are pissing and moaning about Petra like being trans, not a single one of them is actually trans. Regardless of the flags in the bio. Flag in the bio instantly tells you that they're not trans. The flag in the bio is an immediate, okay, so you're not actually trans. It's the same thing with autism. This is basically the signal that you're not actually what you pretend to be. This person is pretending to be trans, just like people that put autism in their bio or use autism as an excuse for the terrible behavior are not actually autistic.
By gender identity politics, where you can't even look at something and enjoy it unless it reflects your identity. That's bonkers. That's bonkers, man. Like, what are we doing? But here's another one saying you just ruined Petra. Okay. Another one saying, for some reason, I don't feel it's really Petra, but a cis Spider-Woman. Well, you would be correct, but I just look at the bios of these individuals, and I'm just like, what are we doing? What happened?
Yeah.
But
yeah. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying here?
What are we doing? What happened? But here's this one asking, where is her?
For God's sake.
Is this like does this person think this is a normal way to respond to artwork? You see a woman character, a female character.
I swear to God, we need to bring asylums back. We do. We need to bring asylums back. So many of these people need to basically be locked away into a mental asylum. Like, the fact that they are projecting this hard and they're so desperate to have these people be something that they're not, that's a mental disorder. It is. We need to start building asylums again. We really do. We need to start building asylums as a place for people to go to like this, for people like this to go to remove them from society. Because they are not functional members of society. Their only goal in life is to basically bring society down. Right there. By living in a fantasy land where they have to project their fantasies on literally everything and refuse to accept reality, they need to be removed from society and put into mental asylums.
Something hilarious to shout in public.
And you're asking this in the replies. Don't you think that's a little strange? Don't you think that's a little bit strange to say? I don't know. I could just be a little sensitive here. I think this is a little ridiculous. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but here's another one saying she was supposed to be a trans woman. not
No, she
gooner
wasn't.
slop.
Never was.
These individuals
Never
see a
was.
fully clothed woman and they immediately think it is adult content. Many such cases with these individuals. But of course, this is the other arc. Now they're trying to shame the artist for making the gooner slop or whatever they're calling it. Here's another one saying, cis gooner slop, trend ruined. Here's another one saying, bro, why would you ruin this trend with gooner slop? We hate people like you objectifying women.
For God's sake.
All of a sudden now they care about women and how they're being treated.
And not one of these people can actually quantify what a woman is. That's the crazy part. Not a single one of these people can actually quantify what a woman is in the first place. These people are the reason why institutions like the WNBA are in the position they're currently in.
How they're being appropriated in a discussion about trans people. Interesting. Also, it says this person's a minor in their name. Why are you commenting in not safe for work spaces or what you believe is not safe for work stuff? Like, you shouldn't be here.
Gee, I wonder.
Like, stay out of spots you have no right to be in. Like, literally. Like, why are you doing this? But here's another one saying you missed the whole point of making her trans and just made goon art. Congrats. F you. So if there's a trend going on social media where someone is flipping a character's identity, you're no longer allowed to make art. Otherwise, you're upsetting the trend and you're a bigot and you're going to get told to go F yourself.
By the way, just so everybody's aware, the people that are raging about this, these are the same people that cheered Lindsay Clancy. These are the same ones that cheer her on and stand wearing pink shirts, making hearts with their hands because she murdered her 3 children, her 3 babies. These are the same people. They're demons. Okay, these are evil people that that have no problem with a mother killing her 3 children, murdering her 3 children. These are the same kinds of people. This is what we're dealing with. This is why they need to be shut the fuck down. This is why they need to be removed from society and put into mental institutions for life. They cannot function in modern society. They will harm or even end someone's life.
Like, this is insane. The narcissism. And also, the stealing, right? They're trying to literally steal this character away, steal its identity, make it one thing for their agenda, and now you're not allowed to draw the character the way that it was originally intended to be. Like, this is actual colonizing behavior here, okay? No.
By the way, what are the odds? Let's thought experiment. Flip the script. What if they did this with a character that's canonically female? And there was and just a normal gender swap happened, and that canonically female character suddenly became a man, and it was a male character. You flip the script. Do you think they would have this much of an issue? Do you think that if they took a traditionally female character and they did like a what if scenario and they gender bent the female superhero into a male, do you think they'd be saying the same thing? No. Guess what they'd be doing? They'd be saying, how dare you take away a woman's power? No, they wouldn't goon over it. No, they wouldn't. They would, instead of saying, oh, that's a strong trans character, they'd say, how dare you, misogynist piece of shit, take away a woman's power? That's what they'd be doing. Again, this is a beast that will never be fed. Nothing will be good enough for them, and they will never do the goose and the gander. It's basically all or nothing. You follow by our rules, and it's follow our rules, pray that I change the rules at some point. And if I do, fucking deal with it. You still have to obey everything I say. That's how these people operate. Because if this was flipped around and it was a female superhero got turned into a male superhero, they still would they would go the exact opposite direction, say you're taking away from a woman. You're never going to win with these people. Don't even bother trying to placate them. You basically, I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. All I'm going to say is that, well, what's good for the goose in terms of the way these people, the act that these people take when they attack someone for a perceived slight and try to run them off of social media and try to get them fired from their jobs. There's a word in there, and all I have to say about that is, well, good for ye. Good for me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Nobody colonizes better than the woke. Okay, but let's continue on. This is just an adult content anatomy. And not only that, Bus is also incorrect. Well, here's the thing. If you see, like, curves and you think that's, like, a adult content anatomy, I think you're the one with a bit of a problem here.
Yes.
Okay? If that's how you see women who are curvy,
I think Bus is supposed to be
I think you're the one
bust.
with the problem here, but let's continue on. They're just making adult content now, bro. That waist-to-hip ratio is insane, and her rib cage is non-existent. That's crazy. It's almost like she's a drawing.
It's almost like she's a superhero drawing.
People absolutely crashing out over anatomy of characters in fiction is never not funny to me. Like, I don't understand how you don't get it. You don't have to have the most representative frame of a real person with your drawing. And also, this person is shaming them for making adult content while having a focus on adult content in their bio here, another amazing bio. And then I looked around through some of the reposts, and this is the good Petra art, okay? This is how rotted all this is. Where they're drawing a fantasy scenario of Petra being supported with their identity through their boss. This is like peak entertainment, being validated by their boss.
By J. Jonah Jameson, of all people.
What are we doing? But then when you make regular female arts of Petra, you're called Gooner Slop, or you're objectifying women, or whatever. It's crazy. But also there's another arc here, and this person has enough wherewithal to point it out, saying the internalized transphobia from so many trans women in response to any Petra art where she is drawn as conventionally feminine. Oh, conventionally feminine.
Yes.
She doesn't look like a trans woman. Now she just looks like a woman. Do you not comprehend the implications of this statement? Yes, That's a good transition here, no pun intended. Where you can see people like this saying most cis women don't even look like that, let alone trans women. Dog water artist, low key. Oh. Ooh, are you saying, oh, that's not a good implication?
Here's the funniest part. All of these people that were commenting on this artist's posts are only boosting them. That's the funny part. Because people that like the art are just going to look at the art. They're not going to look at the comments. So all of these hate comments and views are literally boosting this in the algorithm. That's why Rev is talking about it, because all of these hate comments are boosting the original artist so heavily in the algorithm. And now more people are aware of it. Task failed successfully.
Right there, but this one makes it clear, okay? I want to draw trans women representation, draws a biological woman. Come on, dude. Yeah, I think we agree. Yeah, I think everyone with common sense is understanding this paradigm here. Yeah, you're trying to attack the artist for being transphobic while saying the character looks too much like a biological woman to be a trans woman. I mean, what a self-own. It's incredible. The mind of these woke people, it is something fascinating to observe. But here's another one saying, not one trans woman looks like that. What do you think? Comment in the chat if you agree with this user.
Oh my god.
Here's another one saying, not a single muscle in sight, y'all suck. Dude, if there's already like a million other like trans versions of this character with muscles, I guess, why don't you just go to those posts instead of commenting on someone drawing the character the way that it was originally created, just to like be annoying? Like, you know what? Like this is.
I've seen a few. They can pass for old. Yeah, so buy. I mean, I will default to the one trans person, though I think a lot of people know, which is Finster. Finster is trans, and she passes insanely well. If you were to look at Finster, you would, like, even AI doesn't realize that Finster is trans. Even the AI and a lot of people that showcase, like, beautiful women will use Finster's photo for that collage. And she's trans. And she is, like, originally claimed to what? Originally claimed to be, I think you meant the AGP. No, Finster, I think Finster was never, maybe when she was like going through things, she thought it might have been that, but I think she worked through that. It's like, Finster started off by, Finster started off with, by it being like a bit for stream. That she would dress up in girls' clothes because she had feminine features, and as part of like a sub goal, she would dress up as a girl, and she would do that like for Omegle. She would do Omegle. She would look like a girl, and then she would talk, and it was a male voice, and it would freak the people out on Omegle. But that since evolved, and she went through a lot of therapy, and then came the discovery that she was trans. Finn was cross-dressing, then went trans. Yes, you're absolutely correct. And that's the way it planned out. As far as Finn's chin goes, actually, she just had some minor surgery. She got like her nose. I can't remember if she got her chin done too. But yeah. Which one? Oh, Vlad. Vlad is the Russian muscle guy that does also. But Vlad is not trans. Vlad does the dressing up as a girl thing as a bit because he's really fucking good at the makeup and he's really good at the dressing up and can fool everybody. And so he does it as a bit. He does.
There's also like Reddit sexual behavior too. Like, can we move on from this stuff? But anyways, here's another one saying the amount of transphobia in this comment section is insane. Yet another transgender trend being overrun with transphobes. I hate existing, dog. Well, here's the funny part. I think if you actually look at what's being overrun, it's the character itself and its original identity. It's being overrun by activists who need to see their own identity inside of the fiction they're consuming. And we're seeing that with this trend. And then, when you create a character that's based on the character's real identity, you get harassed. And then, ironically enough, the sort of transphobia going on here, what they think is transphobia, it's not coming from largely the actual transphobes. It's coming from a lot of trans people and activists who are crapping on this character for looking too biologically female while basically self-destructing their entire point in the process. But anyways, that is the situation, ladies and gentlemen. A very interesting one, to say the least. But if you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing, and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams every week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
It's fucking ridiculous. And again, this goes to show you that this was never, ever about inclusion. This was always and forever about supremacy. And trans people, real trans people, you need to start gatekeeping like 10 years ago, because this is only going to get worse. And these activists and these autogynephiliacs, these SJRs, they're going to be the ones that are turning society against you, so you once again have to go into hiding. When actual trans people have to go back into hiding like it was 30, 40 years ago, you can thank these people for forcing you to do that, because they're the ones that have caused it.